ഞാൻ സ്പീഡ് വായിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. ഇതുമെല്ലാം സിമ്പിൾ വേർഡ്സാണ്. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു തരാൻ പറ്റിയ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള വേർഡ്സൊക്കെ തന്നെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളത് പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇത് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടില്ലാതെ എഴുതാൻ പറ്റും. റെഡി. എ ലിറ്റിൽ വൈൽ അഗോ വി കൺസിഡേർഡ് ദ rather strange fact that it is very often the people who talk most about the good old days who at other times tell us about the very hard times they had in their own early days. In these easy-going days, they say young people do not know what it is to work really hard, and they continue it is as a direct result of their own hard work that they are today the men they are, and we of course are left in no doubt whatever that we of the present day can never hope to be as good men and women as our fathers and mothers. If this is the case, the country today is in a very bad way. But is it the case if the young people of today are of poorer quality than their fathers and mothers? We may ask whether the old people of today are in their turn of poorer quality than their fathers and mothers, who no doubt had to face even less easy conditions. Clearly, this cannot be the case, for if we are today any better than the people of 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, it is because on the whole the young people at any given time have been as good as the old people, and even a little better. The material conditions of the life for the than they have ever been. People generally have better food, better houses, and better schools. More care is taken to see that young people, as far as possible, work of a kind which will interest them. And almost at all large business houses now provide playing fields for their workers. Not only are these better conditions afforded to the people, it is of equal importance to the note that the people are making full use of the better conditions. Authorities all over the country have provided schools where those who are at work during the day may increase their knowledge in their free time, either without charge or at a very low cost, and the attendance at such schools are growing yearly. Women all over the country and in every station of life are learning the food values of different kinds of food, and people generally are moving. Second speed വായിക്കുകയാണ്. It was a lovely river. It was wide and full of water in both summer and winter. In summer, the water was usually blue, and its never ending movement towards the sea was so peaceful that it could not be seen except by the most careful observation. In winter, the water often ran more quickly and the color became blacker, but even so, it continued to be a good river. It kept well within its high banks. It was clean, and it did not have places that were dangerous for the little sailing ships that used it as a playground. Not all rivers are so kind to those who live near them. People used to live near or right on the banks of rivers because they required clean water for the many purposes of life. Today, water can be brought to people over considerable distances, and it is not necessary to live near a river to excite. In these days, people like to live near rivers because they like to look at them or to sail on them. There are very few of us who do not find happiness in sitting and watching a large body of water. Houses that have good views of a river or of the sea or of any other mass of water can usually be sold at a high price. There is always a demand for houses in such planning situations. High Point was such a house. It was one of a small number of large houses built on a place of land some 200 or 300 feet above the river and the little town through which it passed. A young woman sat at a wide window of High Point reading a book. The evening light played on her golden coloring, and she was beautiful. She put down the book and looked out over the well kept grounds of the house and down to the river. How lovely and peaceful it is here, she thought. There is still enough light for me to have an hour on the river in flying sails before the day quite dies. We have so few of these lovely days that we may as well make the best of them when we have the opportunity. Perhaps she did not use just those words, but her thoughts were along those lines as she got up and moved away from the window and towards the open door. Thank you.